the sheriff's wife, people were contacting me on apps and Nextdoor and Facebook asking me, hey Tasha, can you help me get this? Can you help me get health insurance? Can you help me get a speed light? Can you help me get the streets light? And because I provided those people with the solution, they asked me to run. So I'm standing here because the citizens of Clayton County asked me to run because I was doing it. Of course, you see, I am the youngest of you, but age ain't nothing but a number, and I will not be out. You understand me? I will not be out. And I want you guys to remember the late great Dr. Martin Luther King died at the tender age of 26. I have no political agenda. I'm just an everyday person here to run. I am a first-time candidate. What you get from me is vital energy, proactive leadership, and someone who will answer the phone and your emails when you call. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is David Hammer. I live up in Park Ridge. I've been in Clayton County for 41 years. My wife and I, she would like to be here. She's a special ed teacher, so she's working. Used to work for Eastern Airlines. We lost that job. Was a co-manager in a retail management grocery store. Lost that. So went to court, become a certified master mechanic. I retired from Clayton County Fleet Maintenance. I have plenty of experience as far as writing a budget, dealing with people. Our sales were $960,000, $1 million. So I know what money is, I know how to manage it. I know how to be successful. I was able to retire at 63 years old. House paid for, and we're doing pretty good. I believe what I bring to Clayton County is experience. I hear a lot of young adults who are in trouble and behind with student loans. My wife had a student loan. My daughter graduated from Mercy University, Macon, Georgia, Paris. So I bring to the table the experience and knowledge of how to make sure you manage your finances, your choices in life and on. Remember, we have to start now, looking forward to every time you hear what you think. Clayton County right now is at 50% rental county, which means 50% of the single family homes belong to investment companies. Looking at this statistic, home ownership is starting to slip away from our future generations. We have to stand up and turn this around. So the American dream is available to everyone.
Good evening. Citizens of Clayton County and District 3 for showing up today, and those of you that are watching via online. I am Tanya G. Fun, and I am your audacious advocate and candidate for Clayton County Commissioner District 3. And I use my love of learning and passion for community engagement to empower families. To let you know a little bit about me, I am a proud graduate of Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, twice with a bachelor's and master's degree. Now, I am also a graduate of Brooklyn College with a master's degree in educational leadership. My educational background plus my life experiences makes me the best candidate for commissioner for District 3. And I want you all to know that I have already been doing the work. Since August of 2019, I served on the Zoning Board of Appeals. I am also a founding member of Clayton County Federation of Democratic Women, which is one of the premier political organizations in our county. And I also lead at my church, Tabernacle of Praise Church International. But outside of that, I have done things on a personal level for the citizens of Clayton County. During the pandemic, I had a pandemic pod where I helped students that were learning online when their parents had to work to make sure they didn't have reading loss. I also took out my sewing machine when people couldn't find masks, and I sold masks and gave over 100 masks away for people that needed it. I have done over 200 community service hours alone with food pantry and things like that. I have been engaged in this community from day one. People look to work to stop harm our county. What you need in a commissioner is someone that's going
you and I are paying one of the highest millage rates in the entire state of Georgia. Secondly, I'm running tonight because the unemployment rate in Clayton County is higher than the state of Georgia's average. Thirdly, I am running because the household median income in Clayton County is lower than the state's average. And tonight, I believe that as your next commissioner, I have a strategic plan that can help all of the citizens of Clayton County begin the process that has taken over 12 years for us to move to this tier 1 status.
Meeting, because at this particular juncture, Clayton County is in a state of emergency. I have 17 years due diligence in this community. I remember when the director Nicole started youth commission, I supported her when they first started. Now I have youth commissioners that graduated high school, they stopped me in the books. They say, we appreciate you speaking out, Mr. Jefferson, so on and so forth. But my name is Timothy Mondale Jefferson, and I'm affectionately known as Mr. Clayton County. And the only reason they call me that, because I have put in the work. I have partnered with several entities, and I am a retired contractor. I have developed over the years, and now I'm name of my company is Faith Excel Economic Development Group. I am currently in that capacity. I got 2 restaurants coming to the city of Morrow. I negotiating with 2 hotels about 8,500 seat freedom. And as an experienced business, we need to bring the business skills to the community. And that's the sacrifice I'm making, because I want to apply my gifts that God gave me for service to the community. Because I think that this is free. I think that we can provide the type of restaurants, the type of work and labor development that's necessary that all the citizens. So I'm already ready through 40 years of development. So I'm not coming to the gate. I think some of y'all watch me online. I've been holding elected official accountable. Because I'm on board and I'm on box. I have a relationship with the region. I was so grateful to receive several awards for spirit of excellence and community engagement. So I've been fighting for the citizens of this community for 17 years. And I was not, but that $550,000 giveaway, development authority.
Your time is up. Thank you.
That's it. Thank you.
Yes, microphone. I would be remiss to say thank you, Lord, for giving me this day. You know, and the reason why I'm here is because the God of my understanding had told me to get up and be about the business of Clayton County. You know, I was one of those people that was sitting out here just talking about nothing. And one day, Spirit hit me inside me and said, you know what, we're gonna talk about and be about the business of the community. And I ran for 3 straight times. This is my 3rd run. Because I want to be about the business of the people. I utilize my own funds to be about the business of the people, but I come to realize that it takes all of us to make this county work. My voice is no good if I don't have the voice of the people backing me up. See, I want to do what you want me to do. See, servitude comes from the heart. And this is coming from my heart. I've been a resident in Clayton County since 1986. Been a homeowner of my own home for 25 years. I've raised my children, my grandchildren, and I hope the county together we can raise it. So I'm here running, and I bought my little card so I don't get off beat. For 36 years, Clayton County has been my home. And for over 25 years, I proudly call District 3 my community. Throughout my journey, I've been deeply committed to the well-being of our district, serving as a distinguished member of the advisory board of Southern Crescent United Way, and actively participating in community organizations. From assisting job seekers at Aerotopolis Atlanta workforce development to playing a crucial role in election victories as the Secretary of the Clayton County Democratic Party, my experience and dedication runs deep. So I'm here again running because I want to be a part of the Clayton County success. I was looking on the page, and I got 1 second, I was looking on the page of the youth commissioner, and I read this, it said, I did what my conscience told me to do. And I can't fail if I do that. So that's what I'm. Thank you.
Our next question will be starting with Mr. Hambrick. How will you work with the chairperson of the board and the other commissioners to better the county as a? How will you work with the chairperson of the board and other commissioners to better the county as a whole?
You see how microphone here, you see the steam back out of here. Right now, in the Gold Dome, how many of y'all know this? There is now Bill 1444. It's ethics reform specific to Clayton County. I'm working with District 79 representative who happens to be in charge of the Democratic Party, Ms. Yasmin Neal. I don't know how many of y'all know her, but we're pushing to get this bill through. Two of our representatives in the Senate blocked it. On the other hand, you had 5 Democratic representatives from Clayton County offering to push this bill through. Ethics reform goes along with everybody. They say government should be transparent, it should be accountable, and they should be ethical. We're pushing this through for the citizens of Clayton County to help reform this county. We need to move the county forward. We have to do it with everyone. Deontay said, a lot of people, we have 26.9% poverty level in Clayton County. I have spoken before the county commission asking for protections of those folks who are in rentals and apartments. I think we can all remember back Tara Woods when the water was going to get cut off. Not because the people didn't pay their rent. It was because the absentee landlord did not pay the bill. There is no protection out there, ladies and gentlemen. None. I've asked the commission not to overhaul the clean ordinance, but you add protections for the people. We cannot move the county forward, leaving 30% behind. That's not going to do. It's not going to happen. We have to get along. We might have differences up here, but we should be able to work together for the benefit of the citizens of Clayton County. We need to do what's good for the common folk, common people, common good. That should be very simple. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out that way. Politics, egos, and such get in the way. We can't let that happen. Not to be successful. It just doesn't work. Thank you.
And the question, how would I work with the chairperson and other commissioners to move the advances for our county forward? And you start off by being respectful. Number one, you can have differences of opinion, but you do not need to be rude and disengaged with what is going on. So that is the first thing. Everyone that is on that board is independent or should be independent. So you have ideas that you think will improve the county. But if you stop listening to each other, as we can see, nothing gets accomplished. So what do, you guide yourselves with the data. So we use the data from the departments to find out what would be the best practices. And we can look around and see what the best practices. Right now, the school system in Marietta has the highest literacy scores. So what we need to do, go see what they're doing. Right now, if we're our county, we're talking about mandatory trash. What do we need to do? Go see what the best practices are in other places. But we have to be respectful to each other. When we walk in the room, we should speak to each other, whether or not we agree with what's going on. Currently, I work on the board of zoning appeals. We don't always vote the same way, but what we do when we leave that meeting is have a good evening, see you next time. So those are the types of things, if we respect each other as human beings and don't take everything so personal, we will be able to work together and we will be able to push the county forward.
How would I work with the commissioner? There are 4 individuals that are currently running for the county chair. I have had a long-standing relationship with all 4 individuals. 2 are current county commissioners. One is our former tax commissioner, and one is a local politician / pastor in our community. Again, I have taken time the last several months to speak with each one of those individuals personally, to hear their agenda. And most of their agendas align with what I am saying as well. We're going to work to do the #1 thing, and that is to bring Clayton County out of the tier 1 status. As I've said, and I will continue to say it, with our only 20% home ownership, with our high unemployment rate, with our low household income, with the need for mandatory trash service and an array of issues. But I will work with either one of those 4 individuals who is elected, and I will work cohesively so that Clayton County can win. Thank you.
Unfortunately, we'll sit up here and I did not question that was asked. Big question, and I appreciate it.
The question was, how would you work with the chairperson of the board and the other commissioners to better the county as a whole?
Well, that's a great question. I want to educate people, like, before the agenda is normally presented on Fridays, but the commissioners and the chairman, they know the agenda on Wednesday before a board meeting. And, what I want to do, because we are a policy-driven board, we have to be intentional and deliberate on working together for the betterment of the citizens of this community. And I want to apologize. You all have seen some things from grown folks that was out of as a leader, and I want to apologize to you guys. That was so disrespectful. So we have to collaborate. You know, as I win this seat, I want to be intentional and deliberate. We can work things out behind the scenes before we go on the World Wide Web and embarrass our status throughout the region and throughout the world. So, this grandstanding has got to stop. We can work out our issues behind the scenes, and that's one of my intentional and deliberate efforts. It would not happen under my watch. Do not embarrass me, because I have standing. You know what I mean? And I'm here to represent people, y'all have forgotten who to represent. So collaborative effort with the chairman and my other colleagues is to solve these issues before we come before the public. And that's what we have to do. We have to answer to the group. Thank you, that's what I'm doing. Thank you.
Read my notes. Because I feel the same way, and before we go in front of the public, as a commissioner, we'll all sit down, we'll go over all of the things that we need to vote on, and we can have a long discussion. Each one of those votes, or each one of those issues, you know, and then come to a consensus that we come out as a united front. We have to. And I'm looking out here at the businesses, I'm looking out here and I see y'all out here, community at parks, I see y'all out here. Everybody wants to do. We all want to do that. I'm quite sure all of us want the same things in our community. We want safety, we want trash pickup, we want all of us, a lot of us want the same thing. Medical facility, that we can call our own, some reason, I'm getting on the top, I'm sorry. Let me get back on the top. But, we'll come out as we learn from. Cause that's the only way we can survive, we all together as one voice. So that's how I would approach it. I would say, hey, guys, that come on as united front, you know, we can disagreeable, but we have to move forward together. And whatever. Thank you.
A person of patience, empathy, committing myself to talk to each other, and most importantly, understanding everyone's perspective. Thank you.
Next question will start with Ms. Tanya Jean Clay. The question is, how do you plan to foster collaborations between local businesses, residents, and government agencies to sustainable development and enhance overall quality of life in our community? Thank you for that question. I just want to make one little comment about the question before. It is illegal for everybody to come together on the board to, excuse me, just need to stay in time. I will, but it is illegal to have a meeting before the meeting. It's an open law, it's an open meetings law, just want to let you all know that. So that's why we have to be respectful during the meeting. As far as collaboration, I'm glad you asked that question, because that's what it's going to take in Clayton County. I am a member of Southern Crescent Women in Business. So we have a collaboration of women that are in business doing different things. And what we have found is that we have to work with other businesses, we have to work with nonprofits. And what I've found as I visit different churches, the churches even have their specialists. And they think for everybody. So we have to come together. So that the specialty for one particular church, say it's food pantry, we can work with Kroger, who also gives away food to make sure that they give away goes to the church, so they can give it to the community. When we work with businesses, I have actually stood before the board and asked, what is the organization system for our businesses so that citizens know what businesses are in our community? They don't have one. Community development goes every day. Businesses go, they apply for a license. But there's no system that we can go to community development and say, where are our floors? I want to choose a florist. Or where are our contractors? I would like to choose from that. So I would like to bring in the system so that the residents will be able to know what resources we have right here. Then once we do that, we can collaborate with all the other entities to bring it together. If we continue to work in silos like we're doing now, we will not be able to make the progress in our county that we need. But we have all the resources right here if we just organize and put everything together. Thank you.
As your next district commissioner, I will collaborate with the business community, with the nonprofit community, as I have been doing for a number of years. Inside of District 3, I have already provided over $2 billion in financing to two of the churches that are within our district. With businesses, I will continue to make sure that we close the gap on the time frame that is taking most of our businesses to open. One study shows that it takes almost a year and several months from the beginning stage of applying to start a business in Clayton County to the day that they open, which many times prohibits many of our businesses from opening here in Clayton County. But I must say, I am going to work with our Economic Development Board, which sole responsibility is to attract businesses. It is not the job of the commission. It is the job of the Economic Development Board, which your tax dollars pay for their salaries. And so as your next commissioner, I will make sure that I collaborate with that board to bring about the necessary business development within District 3 of Clayton County. Thank you.
This is right now, out in the second day. Name of my company is based. Housing, affordable housing, already doing that, a skill set. So what was the question again?
Question was, how do you plan to foster collaborations between local businesses, residents, and government agencies to sustainable development and enhance overall quality of life in our community?
Well, I'm one of the candidates, I have relationships with other regions, throughout the state of Georgia and international. I have not put a lot of time, so I've been intentional and deliberate relationships. I've been forward, especially in the city of Marlboro. I tend to bring that to this region. So I have the relationship necessary in order to collaborate, supervision. I have developed something ready to get us like development point. And the only reason we develop are hesitant because of the bureaucracy that's encompassing structural community development. Now we change that and make it streamlined. So I'm intentional already. I'm doing it. That's my life to do. Is what I do now. So I understand the relationship to other regions. It's all about relationships. You can't come here to agree. I'm ready to serve from day one because I'm already finished.
Question was, how do you plan to foster collaborations between local businesses, residents, and government agencies to sustainable development and enhance overall quality of life in our community? How do you plan to foster collaborations between local businesses, residents, and government agencies to sustainable development and enhance overall quality of life in our community?
So one of the things that I like is nonprofit organizations, because reason why, because of the resources that they provide to the community. And so I'm real interested in making sure that they have the necessities to make their nonprofit do the best they can in the community. So one of the things that I thought for nonprofit organizations is to have a grant writing school for them or classes, grant 101, so they can learn how to write their own grants and bring in the money so they can perform the way they need to perform. You know, as far as operational is concerned, I would like that, I would do a, what do you call it, audit, an operational audit. I would do an audit so I can see in our departments, what exactly are they doing? Because a lot of times there's things that get missed. So when they get missed, that costs more money, which is a burden of taxpayers. What else?
How do you plan to foster collaborations between local businesses, residents, and government agencies to sustainable development and enhance overall quality of life for our community?
So, enhancing, right, making it better for our quality of life. So another thing is, y'all need to fill out surveys. When we send the survey, when they send the surveys out, it may be 1% of the residents in Clayton County that might, go quote me on that might answer the surveys. But how do we know if the community is white? There's only a few of us that get up and make noise. It needs to be a collaboration of everyone making decisions to move the county forward. I think Clayton County is a jewel, it's a diamond in the rough. But it's not gonna shine, together, work together, and voice our concerns and do what's necessary to move the community forward. So I hope I answered the question.
When it comes to collaboration, it starts with relationships building. So Clayton County don't get a lot of things right, but I would say this is one thing I believe that Clayton County does great. Is collaborating with businesses, nonprofits, churches, when it's time and need for someone. I've seen the community come together to help single moms. I've seen the community come together to help homeless people. I've seen the community come together to help all type of things again. So I would say to 10X, what I would do is to go outside of Plain County and build relationships with other counties and other agencies, because I believe success leaves clues. So that's my answer.
Ladies and gentlemen, communication, coordination, cooperation. These are the 3 C's to a successful business. You need to communicate what you need, what you desire. Coordinate your resources towards this goal. Cooperation amongst everyone involved. A lot of kids, students. How many of y'all go to college? Raise your hand. Are you being forced, or is that your choice? Don't answer me. For some people, myself, I don't have a college degree, but I can talk about physics, science, and chemistry all day long. That's the thing about being a mechanic. I do get paid very well for what I do. My wife and my daughter, as I said, they both have college degrees. Businesses should do like they used to do. Come to the school. Recruit from the schools. It doesn't hurt. Ask if anybody wants to be involved in this industry, in this trade. They would get a firsthand feedback from the students. Why does it take a couple years down the road for kids to go out, try something, run up debt, which they have, and decide this isn't for me? Give the alternatives, give the choices. If I'm running a business, I'm going to the students, asking, are you interested? I'm going to the high schools. Does this sound something like you would want to do for a career? A lot of trades are being overlooked, and therefore we're running short. Try and find a plumber, electrician, mechanic, somebody that does air conditioning work or something's coming up. See how long you have to wait. But these are great trades, and these people that own these local businesses should be utilizing the high schools, counselors there to fill their needs, thereby offering training so these students could have a productive and worthwhile career.
Next question. We'll begin, Mr. Long. What are the major issues facing District 3 and how do you plan to solve them?
At the same sounding redundant, one of the number one issue that District 3 is facing is what a countywide issue is. Only 20% of the residents are homeowners. Secondly, we are facing an issue with our children. A recent Georgia milestone study showed that 54% of all of our students in Clayton County are not reading on a third grade level. Another study showed that 47% of all of our graduating seniors have no plans to go to college or even take up a trade, or even, as my colleague said here, do anything to earn a living, which is raising our unemployment rate. I also want to say that the next thing that we're facing, a recent study showed that there are contaminants in our drinking water. I am working on a grant currently to make sure that those contaminants do not create a hazard to the citizens of District 3. Thank you very much.
The question was, what are the major issues facing District 3 and how do you plan to solve them?
Oh, boy, I have partnered with the city of Lovejoy. I think I've got all the tractor trailers at 2 years. Stop parking. I work closely with the city of Lovejoy, but I'm in unincorporated. So, beautification. We have got to really look for, that's the number one. We need to send a message. Not just having to have time, it's about to bring it to elementary schools. But, beautification. The cities. We have to have one code that applies to county itself. You can build is concerned, and then we have to bring it forward. So I think beautification is one of the most critical elements in the embryonic phase to transform into a quality of life that we all deserve. So those are the things that I'm currently, and hopefully, and I'm trying to pay attention to this. The board of commissioners and all 7 leaders of these cities have never had a summit. I want them to have a summit. I want us to be collaborative on code enforcement. There's a fence on it, you got fences put up backwards, you got fences put up the right way. We have to got uniform when it goes. So we have to start in the embryonic phase of beautification as we move this county forward. Thank you.
Do you have a question? Do you need us to repeat the question? Repeat it again. Thank you.
The question was, what issues facing District 3 and how do you plan to solve them?
I believe, our trash, trash is everywhere, litter. And so what I have to do, point of time to get back to the citizen, that there's 700 homeless people in our community. And so what I would like to do as far as that trash pickup is to give them jobs. In-house, hopefully I can probably get, a house somewhere, a home somewhere, a hotel somewhere for homeless people. I like what the mayor downtown is doing in Atlanta with the homeless people. While we give them a home, we will put them to work. Their job is to pick up the trash. So they can be productive members of society as well. So that's what I plan to do as far as the trash removal. And that would be my whole process. I'm going, and they can have jobs. So, that's one of a few that I did and I can think of. Thank you.
So, and after knocking on more than 3,000 doors in District 3, and my phone bank team making about 10,000 calls, the number one issue I can proudly say is the roads. It's no secret our roads are in shambles. So how I plan to address that, one, I know for the fact that
It happens every day. They know what's going on, but yet these occurring on a daily basis. Family quarrels. Let's look at this. Where is the respect on? You have teenagers walking through neighborhoods, jerking on door handles, breaking into vehicles. Why? Who's teaching them? Where are the parents? The family unit has disintegrated over the last few generations. Why? Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, truth is stranger than fiction. You can't make this stuff up. As they say, think how many people are posting videos of their door handles being jerked and cars being broken into. This is a lack of parenting. Why? Do we have kids having kids? Yes, we do. We need to look at that. We need to prevent, give the students and the young people a chance to become productive adults. And a lot lot of our problems might not.
Service at this age is critically important. I think that you guys get role model, friend, community, so on and so forth. So, as I look forward, there's a lot of things. I think that outside of the government. And I think that we could find money to assist you guys out of campus. Because y'all are very busy that way, y'all bring friends, so on and so forth. So what I think needs to happen is that your kids have got to be nurtured. And I think that we're going to have to about that and help guys like that as you mentor future endeavors. Make the road a little easy. So, I designed serious mention as far as judges, lawyers, that can come and speak. I think, we're there in Texas right now. Mock trial right now as we speak. So I think that we mentor you guys once a month, along with the professionals that are in the industry, and you have guys to encourage you here. That's something I love to do. With everybody got to be able to speaker, even if I did it, there can happen. Sale. So that's what I like these people. Committed to. So that's something I like to see once a month. With the professor, mentoring you guys, tapping into the people, and to assist you as you go in the spirit of excellence as you follow. That's what I am. Thank you.
I get lost listening to him.
My shit works.
My question was, how do you plan to utilize the youth commission with assisting to serve the community?
How do I plan to,
Utilize the youth commission with assisting to serve the community.
how do I utilize it? Oh my goodness. You are my eyes and ears. Because you're the next generation to carry this community forward. So it's really important that I listen to things that you want done in the community. Because we all, don't always know what needs to be done. You know, time has turned around. Where, you know, we used to say, okay, parents can take to the kids, well, you do this, you do that, you do that. But now, what do you have to bring to the table so we can utilize it in our community? We all don't know what y'all want. So your voice to me is very, very important. Because y'all have some really good ideas. My grandson, he was saying, hey, schools, when they could use some of that money for, you know, education in the school system. You know, and I was like, okay, that was a great idea. So, you know, I would listen to whatever y'all bring to the table because it's important.
So I am so proud of the youth commissions. But for me, how I would utilize you guys is, I would love to take you into the communities that I go into now and reach the kids who aren't interested in politics. And reach the kids who are probably committing those crimes and, you know, stealing and things. I would like for you guys to mentor your peers to show them that is a good thing. Thank you.
The youth commission in its own form is actually a board of commissioners. You should have leaders, meetings, bring your ideas, present your ideas, vote on your ideas, hash it out, do research on your ideas. We should allow you the opportunity to come forth. We should hold meetings with the youth commission to listen. As I said before, let's go back to those 3 C's. Let's communicate, coordinate, collaborate. Very important. You all see things from a different perspective than I might see. Bring them up here. You are the eyes and ears of a generation. You know what you're going through. We might see it. We might not understand it like you. So if we don't appreciate it and listen and give you the chance to present your ideas, your thoughts on what's going on in the community, the way it affects you, the way you see it, and what the future could be for you, and we're not serving you properly. Not at all. Remember, you hear the words, "would work for you." Well, maybe it's time we do that. Thank you.
I was a teacher for 27 years. So I work with middle and high school students all the time. And the one thing that I know is that you all learn by doing. And I think that the youth commission should be in every aspect of the government system, our local government system. Also, you are probably better with technology than any of us. So right now, with the youth commission, we have a problem with communication within our county, especially right now that it's voting season. And I can assure you that many residents do not know it's voting season. So we need to look at you all, how do we go about engaging people that are younger than us are going on with the county. What are the technologies that you all are using now? How do you all communicate with each other? And when the commissioners have events, I don't want to see you all just there passing out flyers for events. You should have been involved in every process through the event and not just showing up at the end just to do the cleanup part of the event. You need to plan it, you need to organize it, and you need to take the lead. Because you all are already leaders, and I know you all. Y'all are the top influencers in your community anyway. And how do we take that and expand that so that we can reach even more people? And also connecting the youth with our, another one we call senior citizens, but our senior population. How do we get you all connected? Because they can learn from you and you can learn from them. But I really want to see you all be utilized with every aspect of our government. Thank you.
So tonight, I think it would be remiss if we didn't, as a August body, celebrate the commission tonight and we're hosting this. Come on, let's celebrate the commission. Youth Commission, we thank you for all that you all have been doing. I think where we would be best served is for you all to continue to create safe spaces to learn about civic engagement. As you're doing, just continue to enhance your learning and your understanding. I said earlier that nearly half of the third graders in Clayton County, according to the most recent Georgia Mouse test, is not reading on grade level. Youth Commission, I think that you all can be the major stakeholders in helping all of our rising scholars begin to read on grade level. Why am I saying this? Because all of the things that I spoke about earlier with the various ills of our community, if we can change, if we can help young people read on grade level, statistics show that they will become more productive in our community. So Youth Commission, please continue with your civic engagement and also consider mentoring those rising scholars who desperately need your help achieving reading on grade level. Thank you.
Moving on to audience questions. The first question we have is, economic development is important, but is it a priority for aesthetics? For example, lots of trees in favor of building more subdivisions. I'm sorry, I will repeat that again. Economic development is important, but is it a priority for aesthetics? For example, lots of trees in favor of building more subdivisions. Anybody that was.
I'd like to take that question. If you notice, I think we live in a tree society. A lot of trees are leaning. And unfortunately, we lost a good friend of mine that had a sound business in Jonesboro because the tree fell on his home. So as we develop and the trees age, we have to be good stewards of our green, because that helps with the oxygen like that. But we got to get ready for the population. I think that one of my champions with developers, and I'm very concerned about it, how fast this is. Any development, I have a clubhouse, and it's going to have a same playground for kids, and replant trees. But a lot of our trees are aged, they're lean. It is a tremendous health concern. So when you focus on economic development, when you do your feasibility study, and I understand greenery is very, very critical to beautification, but we have to be smart. I've been doing this for 40 years. So we have to hold our developers accountable for the developments they bring to us. And that's how you take that old, but you bring in the embryonic phase of the new tree. So that's how we keep our greenery forward. So economic development is very, very critical. I'm very working on a lot of things. Unfortunately, I have a non-disclosure agreement, but we're bringing some restaurants. We refocus on the 26th April across our Lake State University, and we're trying to develop condos. While y'all are saying here at Lake State University, but y'all don't sing family, y'all want condos. So that's part of the development strategy. As I move forward, we train the best minds, but we got to keep it here. And I think that do that as far as my vision is concerned, not only in District 3, but throughout the county as a whole. We have got to think about young people as we move this county forward in the spirit of excellence, thought, economic development. And I'm already doing it. That's what I do for a living. Thank you so much.
When we think about economic development, not only are we thinking about subdivisions, which in that case, we do need to replant where we can. And I do believe most of the subdivisions have to have a certain amount of green space in the subdivisions. That's part of the planning process. But when we think about economic development, we're also thinking about our businesses. Now, one of the things that we need to understand is that Clayton County is 157 when it comes to land mass. That means our county land mass wise is fairly small compared to the other counties in Clayton County. Well, what does that mean? That means that we have to be very strategic on how we use our land. So that's why there was times when the board was voting for new gas stations and convenience stores that I got up and I opposed them because we already have more on that area. So when you clean off that particular land to build another gas station, that is another business of another site or restaurant that can't be there now. We need to come up with a plan where all these vacant buildings that we have, what type of incentive plan do we have for businesses to go into those vacant buildings, renovate them and use them? Because God is not making any more land, and we have to be smart about that.
If anyone else would like to answer the question, you are free to do so. Economic development is important, but is it a priority over aesthetics? For example, lots of trees in favor of building more subdivisions.
As I stated earlier, I have served on board planning and zoning board for the last 3 years. I have heard literally thousands of individuals push back on a lot of the development as it presents a great strain on the infrastructure of Clayton County. While this is happening, we're still seeing much more development that's happening. And the reason why this must happen, as many of you all know, more than 1 million people have moved to the Metroplex of Atlanta over the last 7 years, and it is projected that another 500,000 are on the way. And Clayton County, for us to get out of the Tier 1 status, which will allow more property taxes not to spike and increase any further, we have to have smart development, which will cater to the growth of Clayton County. Thank you.
I can go wherever you want, what this one said. If you go to South Lake Festival, look at how many abandoned buildings are there. Go down Terra Boulevard, look at what's abandoned, come down Park 38, look at what's abandoned, there's shut. Big old, what used to be the basketball area on Terra Boulevard. Now it's broken into, people are hanging out with drugs. Any contractor will tell you it's cheaper to bulldoze a tree, unfortunately, than to renovate a building. That's what they're doing. That's when people now all step up and go, we're gonna do something. Look at what's already built. The infrastructure's already there. We have a lot of subdivisions going into the Panhandle. And yet, Terra Boulevard, hopefully maybe this decade will be finished. It'll be outdated by the time it is. Just look at how much high-density housing is being built down there. Already got the apartment complex in next to the Home Depot. Keep going south, look at all those clusters. You need to make developers aware with bulldozers and everything. I think, I want to protect the land and the water. Because when the animals can't be there, neither can the human beings. The land gives us. Trees help reduce global warming. They turn carbon dioxide into oxygen. You can develop smart. But it takes work. Thank you.
Audience, the question is, do you believe public comments should be at the beginning of the Board of Commissioner meetings, so you can hear from the people before decisions are made? Why are we not?
Yeah, I'd like to take that question, boy, yeah, question, yeah, it's big. It moves me. That elected officials, that request a vote for them to be elected in the office and then turn around and silence you. I don't understand that logic. And this is what qualifies professional and seasoned individual. The ego has a tendency to get ahead of public service. We are all wanting to be public servants, and we have to be mindful that we work with humans. Understand? And I want to go to the third meeting, the second meeting of Tuesdays, because I cannot sit there for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, for a 2-minute insult. There's something on the agenda that I already been discussed that I have concerns with. So it's an insult. This leadership on the Board of Commissioners right now, y'all need to pay attention. I tell everybody, do your due diligence on your candidates, because they are insulted when they took the public comment back to the beginning. And the only time I speak is on the first Tuesday, because the meeting is not happening. But I'm not gonna sit there for 2 or 3 hours, zoning issues and so on and so forth, and it's an insult to me. But I got expressed my concerns. So with that statement, everybody was focusing on free to vote. Everybody manipulated. You know, some of these things not that, I know in person, I would not try to manipulate the free to vote. So if you manipulate the free to vote, you have control over it, because the Board of Commissioners is a policy-driven board. The policy is set. That's it. So we have to learn to put the citizens first and put our egos and collaboration together. So, that thing right there, public comment is a thorn in my side. Because I speak quite often, to protect the citizens. So, at the end of the day, thank you.
So for those that may not know, previously, public comment was at the beginning of the agenda, and it was 3 minutes long. So what exactly is the purpose of public comment? So public comment is the way that the citizens can express a want, a need. They may have looked over the agenda, well, most likely they read over the agenda ahead of time. There may be something, what we call the consent agenda, which will not be discussed. It will just be approved. So the public has an opportunity to say, you know what, I want to speak about this particular item on the agenda or this particular thing that's going on in my community. With public comment being put to the back of the program and now being reduced to 2 minutes, as someone that speaks during public comment quite often, 2 minutes is not a lot of time. So I want to thank you, Commission, for giving us 3 minutes. You all can see what 3 minutes, what you can get out of 3 minutes versus 2. So it is an insult to the residents, to the taxpayers, for people to have hurt feelings. And that is the reason why they put public comment to the back. It is not professional, and I stand here today and pledge the first thing that I will do in my 90 days.
We tried many a time. I had a commission meeting. That's fine. Mr. Jeffrey. When we've asked many times, please move to the front. Put it back where it was. It finally became a vote. Unfortunately, 2 of the commissioners that are no longer running their respective districts voted against the citizens of Clayton County. Another commissioner who's going to run unopposed this time voted against citizens of Clayton County. When your voice can't be heard, when facts cannot be presented, you've been effectively silenced. They just put us to the back, they handle their votes, and then one commissioner gets up and walks out, and we have 2 minutes. We have 2 minutes to speak, and it's hard when I'm talking about celebratory gunfire, how wrong it is we need to get this stopped. How we need to protect people in these branches. How, why we give away $500 million. They're talking about building $300,000 condos when the average salary in Clayton is $44,000. Where are they gonna get 60 grand at 20%? Come on, guys, it's economic participation, tax 101. But yeah, the commission has shot us down every time we have spoken, every time we have brought this before. Hopefully now, with these new elections, we're gonna get our 3 minutes back. At the front, the commission, we will listen to what the citizens have to say.
Next question.
We do believe that public comment is essential to civic engagement. For the last 3 years, as a member of the Planning and Zoning Board, I hear every first Monday of the month dozens of comments and pushback, favor, and whatever concerning development. I have never shied away. Many of you in this room have seen me in those meetings, and you know that I will listen intently. And as the next commissioner, I plan to take that same spirit to the Board of Commissioners. Public comment from free than it should be at the beginning of our meetings. Thank you.
But I would say that I agree with you, however, only one. So others want to keep it back at the end of the meeting, then I'm just one vote. So what I would suggest to do, if somebody wants to come publicly earlier, do public comment, half an hour before the meeting start, I would invite all the other commissioners to come out and, they can speak then. So that's what I would do.
This next question is for anyone who may want to answer. Is there a possibility that bus service will expand to Highway 138, Highway 85 to Sierra Boulevard?
Yes, and they have some community. This is like that. They have community. We. Oh, wow. Y'all passed lots of things. And part of the control of about $120 million. I mean, a lot of people got stopped. You know, I put my foot down and say, where are the customers? They built one point, but I'm about to get back to them again. And we got to go GDOT account. GDOT is about unification. They owe us some money. And the grant program for the increased plans moving forward as a complete tar. Now, you know, how we get to the progress and it's the so as we move forward in trying to do the right thing. We got the whole. We have a board commissioner that I don't think has the skill set that's qualified to assist us in the community. Because she was a friend. And that's what we got to be careful with. We don't want to make sure we get resumes and put people in place that have the skill set to assist the community. So, yeah, that process is going to be updated. We have to put pressure on model. I've been with them a long time. Citizens start coming to me. I think I was one in the last meeting that spoke about Francis. That's how I'm engaged. So we have to pay attention. We have to hold the bottom accountable for the tax dollars that they have in escrow to do our business. So yeah, we're working on that. Thank you.
Also, Clayton County has to do their part as government. And there's a comprehensive plan that surrounding counties have done that Clayton County has not done. So when we look to have a certain set of expectations on outside agencies, we have to make sure that we have put our ass in and we have put it in properly so that we can get the services that we need for our residents. So there is an amount of communication and planning that local government needs to do so that we can have those services for our residents.
More expansion issues on the light rail system that we talked about. Right now, I'm trying to find out where they can put the rails down. Railroad existing tracks, not allow that light rail system. What they're gonna do, is looking for the property. Now, who wants to sell their house? What are you gonna do? Trying to get the light rail to help go with the bus service. Buses bring the light rail, light rail does the transportation. So right now, that's what we're looking at. We're waiting, here again, zoning, planning, land acquisition. And Marta's also looking about, will Clayton County share some of the costs? Will Marta share? Thank you.
Excuse me, we're in the middle of, we're in the middle of the discussion, please succeed. Give me a second, to succeed, please. Please sit down, sit down. I just asked, if you have any materials or anything that you would like to give out, wait until we're done. So that the audience members and our panelists are distracted by movement, okay? That's all I ask. All right.
Our next question is for anyone who would like to answer. The question is, how can the commissioners work with the police and the sheriff to decrease the number of cars damaged by vandals or thieves?
I like to, I work with this continuing relationship with Chief Roberts. Fortunately, your husband and I, very, very close. So, I have intention of regardless of our politics, we have to collaborate together. The same public safety is a serious concern. Now, fortunately, we out accidentally in a shootout at the gas station, and I ran to the I've experienced that myself, so I have been intentional in delivering the relationship with Chief Barber, Deputy Chief Barber, Chief Roberts, and now I'm intentional in delivering on building a relationship with the current sheriff on Allen. So I think collaboratively and collaboratively, we have got consensus, we have got target this, and in partnership with the school board, police department, we have got the intent and delivery. Unfortunately, the young kids are making emotional decisions toward what's their lives, and you need education along with a member of the sport program, that day, that we need to reinstitute. So, and being intentional in building relationship, all law enforcement and structural things. I think.
Anyone else like to answer?
On the second Tuesday of every month, there's a work session. That's where a lot of department heads come before the board of commissioners, present budgets, present ideas. They ask pretty much the basis of this, I need some taxpayer money to do things. I know jail, we have lots of places, toilets replaced, working on lights, brand new washing machine. And one of the things I found out, they have right hand flush, left hand flush, steel toilets. Didn't know that. But you cannot, this is something you cannot go to other people and buy, these are special things. So the sheriff, police, they have to come to the county commission, present the budget. We have to work together to see what the best solution is for the safety of the citizens. Granted, we do have to keep an eye on the dollars. But we have to spend wisely. We have to try and get the best day to save law enforcement, the best bang for your buck. Remember, we got to be frugal and responsible with your dollars. It's your money, you are taxed. Everybody knows how high the real estate taxes and other taxes went up. So I know you want some results with the money you paid out. That's how we work it.
So one of the things that Mr. Moore here has been saying over and over again is about literacy rate. I want to bring in another fact about that literacy rate. They also build prisons based on the third grade literacy rate. So when we talk about working with, law enforcement to decrease the amount of break-ins and crime and things like that, we have to look at our education system. They go hand in hand. So while we want to do fun things with our children, like roller skating and things like that, the sheriff's department, they have programs that can be implemented to also work with the students to make sure that they are getting on the right track. Kids will find something to do. Either it's going to be productive or it's going to go in the opposite direction. Over policing our community is not the way to do it. So we have got to get programs within our school system, our after-school program. I know for a fact, campus kids for our babies K-5 is maxed out. Parents are always looking for somewhere for their kids to go. I know I don't even want to talk about what our middle school kids are doing, because the teachers are working too hard. There are not enough clubs for them to have in the afternoon. They're going home latching kids. So these are different issues that we have going on. Building up our sports programs within our community. You have to keep kids busy. That's the bottom line, and they need to be productive. So we need to work with our law enforcement, we need to work with our county, we need to work with our school system to bring down the crime rate, because our jails are already overpopulated. So for something we're not doing right, because it's not deterring people from going to jail. So we gotta do something different if we want to expect different results.
And I have to agree with the talk about. But first that, with our children, they can do extracurricular activities after school. And so, I put our middle school students to maybe have an after school program at the school. So there's somewhere where it's supervised, while their parents are still at work. Just like we do our kindergarten to fifth grade, sixth to eighth grade, stay after school and get some, some extra services for maybe our senior in high school, make some extra hours, go to middle school, and tutor the younger children as well to keep them busy. And more so yet, I had thought about the kids. Nowadays, they like to rap, right? So my whole thing is, why can't we use Lala? Because she can play them all the time for rap music. And why can't we use a lot of other rap songs, a lot of rappers that are in that to sponsor the schools and bring it to the Boys and Girls Club, or have their own recording studio so they can record music and they can sell them as well. That gives our kids something to do. A lot of kids like to, they're very poetic, and they have a lot of things to talk about. And so doing things, activities like that will help reduce crime in the community, I believe, while we're working with our children and our police department.
So the beautiful thing about District 3 is that we already have the infrastructure. We have the 3 facilities, our South Clayton Recreation Center, this facility that we're currently in, and our aquatic center. This is the infrastructure that we have already at our disposal, that we can implement programs with our police department, with our sheriff's department, to bring down the violence that is again tied to literacy rates. And as your next district commissioner, I pledge that I will utilize the infrastructure, that we can stop so much of the things that are happening in our community by educating our community. And youth commission, once again, I believe that you all can take the lead on helping with many of our children, and also allowing our public service workers to also be the necessary stakeholders so that we can bring about the positive win for Clayton County.
Our next audience question is for you. What is your plan for lowering the mileage rate resulting in lower taxes for commuters?
So to lower the millage rate, we have to have at least 150,000 more homeowners inside of Clayton County. If we do not attract the homeowners, then we can do nothing but allow that millage rate to once again become the highest in the state of Georgia. So things that we can do is work to make sure that we provide literacy to help individuals become homeowners, that we can pass legislation that will immediately enable a large fraction of individuals to become eligible to become homeowners. And thirdly, we have to work with the community of stakeholders to make sure that we provide a pathway to workforce housing that we spoke about earlier. Workforce housing is going to allow many people to afford to live in the county. It is a shame that most of our public service workers who work in this county don't even live in this county. That's because we have not created workforce housing. And as your next district commissioner, workforce housing also passing legislation that will enable a large fraction of people to become eligible. And then thirdly, making sure that we provide a pathway, will eventually, it's not gonna happen overnight, but it will eventually bring that mileage rate down so that you, the homeowners, will see a relief in your property taxes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I have heard Ms. Long say over and over again about homeowners. I went to our tax commission to make sure that I had clarification. If whoever owns property, if it's a homeowner, if it's an investor, whoever owns property in Clayton County must pay the taxes on that property. So to say that we're only getting half of our taxes is not true. Taxes are being paid on every single bit of property, because if you don't pay the taxes, you continue not paying taxes, they're gonna take the property from you. So let's get that straight. Secondly, far as Clayton County, to bring down our millage rate, we have to recruit businesses that's going to supplement what we need in county services. So it is about recruiting the right businesses, high level businesses that is going to bring down the millage rate. But every single piece of property in Clayton County, taxes is received, and the last time I spoke to the tax commissioner, the taxes are received at over 90%. And so I just want to make that clarification.
Ted, this is right down my alley. This is why I like it. The tax dollars is it's designed county budget. Unfortunately, as the population compensated with the budget, the millage rate has got to be increased. So how do you counteract that? We have got to be realistic. We are classified as tier 1 county. And I have about 8 municipalities, Dr. Stacy Lang and Woodward about energy to get some of these other dollars to compensate the difference that we are missing out on, because we have been missing more leadership that never mind go after the dollars. We are automatically involved. I'll put it into this. Secondly, the number one thing that frustrates me, and this is part of my life, I am going to be intentional and deliberate on bringing the city of Atlanta to the table for this airport dollars. We are not getting our best share of taxes. They took away the cargo business from us and put that to Port County. Nobody, no leadership for it. No leadership has support for our rights to our tax dollars at the airport. We had a little fight for people tax money with Delta. 90% of the airport is in Clayton County. We bring the city of Atlanta to the table for a 50-50 share. And I'm gonna tell you why. While we are discussing this degree at the Capitol, there's a quiet sector going on to create the state airport authority. They want to take it over from us and the city. So it's the city of Atlanta and Clayton County to work together because the state want to take it over and send the money to the campus. So we have to be intentional and understand how to lower the millage rate. We're being robbed because leadership don't have the skill set, and we have attorneys that don't have the skill set to go after the money to right now. That's free thing.
Our next question from the audience is for anyone who would like to answer. The question is, will there be any grants for home improvement for seniors and low income citizens that own homes?
Can you read the question?
The question is, will there be any grants for home improvement for seniors and low income citizens that own homes?
Yeah, there's already a program, basically, organization program for seniors, to get, winterization. I think in some cases, you can go with the windows, but I think we have a senior. Every year, it's down from that, there's a certain program of the information. The problem is that we have to create a system that we can get the information to the city. But there's already a program in place as far as the system. Yeah, we got to do that.
There was such a demand in that program that companies like any hot demand conflicts, it filled up very quickly. There was more demand for that program than there was dollars. Federal government, and even Clayton County, a little bit of matching money. However, there's a finite budget. That's it. What we need to do is look at other, some of our community. We just switched. Library had extra money from their budget. They transferred it over to senior citizens. Now, to do things like that, you have some departments that do have extra money in their budget. We have to look at those and utilize those resources that are available. Some of our money from COVID, we sent back. There's hundreds of thousands of dollars that wasn't applied and went back to Washington instead of staying in Clayton County. I heard there were bookkeeping issues, communication issues, nobody filled out the right forms. It's literally pass the money back to DC. So we have to better utilize the funds that we are given through again on our communications to let the citizens know what programs are available.
Thank you. Government authority handles, grants for, seniors. And also Clayton, you know, I have to look it up before I give you the answer, but I have to do research before I talk about it. But I know there are services in place, but I have to research.
Okay, it's gonna kind of
Yeah.
stay with us. Youth Commissioner, Darrell has a final question, because in the interest of time, we're gonna close it up. Why should citizens of District 3 vote for you? There's only 1 minute available for each candidate. We'd like to start with Ms. Chambers.
I would love to answer that question.
We would like to start with Ms. Chambers.
I believe that Clayton County residents vote for me. I was one of the people, like I said, that sat on the fence and said, and talked about the county and didn't do anything about it. And see, I was moved by doing something, and I was pushed out there and throw my hand out in the ring and said, okay, be about the business of the people. So I decided to get out and start running because I care about the community as a whole. I have children, grandchildren, that are school age children, and I see my county not prospering. And I see counties around us prospering without us. So I believe that the voice of the people will bring the citizens to the community for us to vote.
Your time is up. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Jim. Bill Jefferson, basically known as Mr. Clayton County. I'll tell you my name. I've been doing my due diligence since 2007. I have done 17 years of due diligence on municipality and county government. I have relationships throughout the region. This is why I am the only certified candidate that's capable of serving from day one, because I have put in the work. I'm not letting, I've been working on this since 2007. So I understand relationships, I understand all the directors, all 26 departments. I understand relationships, I understand everything. So I am willing to work. You know what I'm saying? To put in the work, to move this county, move this things. I have the skills and I have the feeling.
Your time is up.
Thank you.
How do I make that?
My name is Dante Long. Tonight, I am running for the District 3 County Commissioner. And the reason why I'm running is because my number one priority is to help Clayton County come out of the distant state of a tier 1 status. I will make sure that we continue to bring economic development through workforce housing. As a commissioner, I will collaborate with all of the directors that your tax dollars pay for to do their job. Lastly, we will work to make sure that we work on the beautification of a county-wide sanitation solution. Lastly, as we stated earlier, we must close the gap with our youth. We must utilize the Youth Services Department to help our youth. With our seniors, as we stated earlier, I am wanting to make sure that our tax dollars addresses many of the issues that you all have. You can learn more about it on my website at electdantelogan.com. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. I am Tanya Jean Bundy, and you are voting for me for county commissioner because I am the one that has a holistic approach of how to bring our county forward. I have worked with all departments, I have worked with the school system, and I understand how everything works. I use data, I use my independence, and I use my energy and time to make sure that we are seeing the whole picture. with me, you have someone that you can trust, you have someone that's going to work, you have someone that has integrity, and you have someone that is going to tell the truth. And I think that I will be the one that should receive your vote. You can find me at agfunny.com, on Facebook, A Funny for the People, and Instagram, AG Funny. Thank you so much for your time today.
I want to say thank you, Bishop, for putting this on, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for taking your time, your effort, being here, make this a success. Thank you very much. My name is David Cameron. I'm running for the Clayton County Commissioner, District 3. Why should you vote for me? When you look at me, I don't know what you see, but I am second generation Ukrainian born. I can speak Russian growing up, so I can tell you what it's like. Have grandparents who have no money, who had to work hard, came up on dirt floors. If you want to know what it's like to start different careers, I can speak to that. You want to know what it's like when your child has chemo, you have to give chemotherapy for the for your son, I can tell you that. I can tell you what it's like to have a life in college, 2 kids and a mortgage. And I can tell you what it's like to work 2 jobs for 40 years.
Your time's up. Thank you.
Thank you.
As you guys can see, I can talk much, that's a worker. When I think about what Clayton County means, the word elevation comes to my mind. And we know that with elevation comes separation. And today, you guys heard about a lot of experience and qualifications and whatnot. But if I'm being 100% honest with you, we have that now, the movement that has guided us. What Clayton County needs is something new, someone new in that state. As your district commissioner, I want to leave behind a Clayton County that surpasses your wildest dreams. One that where the future generations can flourish. On May 21st, 2024, vote me, Tasha Allen, your next district commissioner, so we can challenge this status quo together. Thank you. At this moment, we are out of time for further questions, but your questions are important to us. We will provide you with Office of Youth Services email address, and we will send candidates all further questions and provide you with answers soon.
The Clayton County Youth Commission would like to thank our candidates for participating in our candidates forum. We would also like to thank our in-person audience and virtual audience for attending as well. Everyone give yourself a round of applause. Please follow us on our social media platforms. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Please make sure you register for our candidate forum for the Board of Commissioner Chair candidates, which will be held Tuesday, March 26th at the Lakeview Event Center at 6 p.m. And our candidate forum for sheriff candidates, which will take place at the Fire Department Training Facility in Riverdale, Georgia at 6 p.m. I will now turn it over to our staff for final remarks.
Thank you, Commissioner. At this time, I think I'm going to be remiss, and I want to clarify just one thing. So we have everyone's comment in our in-person audience and the virtual audience. What we've done in the past is we've taken this question, we'll email each candidate the question, and that's okay with you all. They'll return the answers back to us, and then we will post them on our webpage, Senior Services webpage, and also on our social media platforms so that everybody can see what the candidates have to say individually in their written responses. I would also ask that all of my youth commissioners support these among my staff, just so that they can be recognized. All right, so thank you all for coming this year and listening. Thank you again, as stated, if you all have any further questions, you can send us an email at newsdepartment
GA.gov. So that's GA.gov. If you have any further questions. And I want to thank this storage for taking together this Melissa Crystal Myers from Senior Services for working with us on these ones. Thank you. And let's, stand in the back or stand in the front. You know, that's smart. You can spread out. Spread out. Oh, student ambassadors. We need our place. Each of us.